Hello everyone, welcome back to another amazing tutorial. I hope you are all doing well. Today, we will dive into date functions in Excel. These functions are extremely useful for calculating dates when the year, month, and day values are stored in other cells. Let's start with the today function. This function has no parameters and returns the current date. For instance, if I open this workbook after 2 days, the formula will automatically update the current date to 10th instead of 8th. Next, we have the now function. It is similar to the today function, but it also returns the time along with the date. This means that, in addition to changing the date every day when we open Excel, the time will also update every minute when we refresh the Excel sheet or make changes to other cells. Moving on, we have the day, month, and year functions, which take parameters. For the day function, enter it and select the today's date, and you can see it has returned the day. If I change the date to 14th, the result updates accordingly. Next, let's look at the month function. Enter the month function, select today's date, and it returns the month. Now, for the year, we have the year function, which also takes a parameter. We can pass in today's date and get the year. As you can observe, the now function is continuously updating, with the minutes changing as we update other cells. Moving on to the date function, it takes 3 parameters, utilizing the year, month, and day functions. This function returns a date that combines the values from all 3 cells. Next, we will learn how to add and subtract days from a given date. I have already entered the today function in the date cell. To add, for example, 3 days to the current date, we can perform a simple mathematical calculation by adding 3 to the date. To subtract days, select the current date and subtract 3 days. You can add or subtract any desired number of days. This way, you can easily manipulate dates by adding or subtracting days. Moving on to adding and subtracting months. It's not as straightforward as simply selecting a cell and subtracting a value. To achieve this, we have the EDATE function. Enter the function, select the start date as the current date, and enter 2, as we want to add 2 months. This function returns the date by adding 2 months to the current date. Similarly, enter the function, select the start date, and enter -3 to get a date that's 3 months earlier. If we modify it to, for example, -11, it will automatically go back to the previous year. Finally, let's explore how to add and subtract years. We can use the same EDATE function. Enter the function, select the start date, and for the months, since we want to add 5 years, enter 5 and multiply it by 12. As a year has 12 months, the formula returns a date with 5 years added. You can also refer to a cell containing the formula to achieve the same output. Similarly, to subtract, enter the function, select the start date, and enter -6 multiplied by 12 months. This subtracts 72 months from the current date. So in today's video, we have covered the basics of date functions. In the next part, we will delve into more advanced functions, such as calculating with working days, excluding holidays, and more. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching this tutorial.